Brytknee. Calligula. Callidora.
Anarchity 47.
Cadence. Brytknee. Calligula. Callidora.
Anarchity 47.
Choose your character. Cadence. Brytknee. Calligula. Callidora.
Anarchity 47.
Cadence. Brytknee. Calligula. Callidora.
Anarchity 47.
Choose your character. Cadence. And now, It's your girl, Cadence Harper, and today we're gonna go over how you become a VTuber. Yay! Hooray! Yay! Now, you may notice this looks like shit. There's a reason for that, chat. There's a fucking reason. You ready for this? We're about to get into it. Anyway, a very warm welcome to Frock Maiden Kai, Demipole, Frogod987, G Gamer 6000, Dr. Doom DL217, and of course, Froggy. Anyway, so we're gonna be going over a lot of shit today. This is gonna be the first half. We're gonna be doing VTuber stuff. I have a PowerPoint prepared we're gonna go over, and then I'm just gonna show you guys behind the scenes of my process and what I do as a streamer on my days off, quote in quotation marks. Hi, Jason Jelly. So today on this PowerPoint, we're gonna be covering the very basics. We're gonna be covering content, because that's important. How to grow, which is of course what everybody worries most about. And then we're going to do some deep dives into some specific topics that I think need to be talked about, you know? So let's get started with the very basics. Don't. I know that sounds like terrible advice. Don't fucking VTube. Honestly. Dead ass. Do not become a streamer. Please. Now, why do I say that? Again, it sounds like a joke, but I'm being deadly serious. If I can convince you not to become a streamer, you do not have the mental fortitude it fucking takes. Being a streamer is... A lot of people think you just hit the go live button and you be silly for an hour and then you're done and that's it. But only the very, very biggest streamers can get away with doing content like that. Only like your fucking, your HoloLive girls, I'm trying to think of like some normiecore streamers. Fucking, what's his name? Penguins. What's his fucking name? Moist Critical. Moist Critical can get away with doing that because he's sort of earned it. He's ground out making actual content. Being a streamer is a lot of work, and even the work aside, there's just a lot of mental strain that comes with it. Every VTuber I know is at least a little mentally ill. Most of them are very mentally ill, and streaming is part of that, honestly, because there's a lot of mental strain that comes with it. I know it sounds stupid, but if you spend hours and hours and hours of your time preparing an excellent stream, you're super excited about it, and then you stream it and nobody shows up, it really does hurt you. I spent weeks preparing a special event stream once, and it was my least viewed stream of all time. And it's natural to feel rejected when you spend your time and you put yourself out there and nobody gives a shit. So that can honestly really upset people. It really upsets me. I get fucking mentally ill about my numbers all the time. And right now you're thinking, oh, I don't care about numbers. I just want to stream for stream's sake because it's fun for me. You're gonna care about numbers. It's unavoidable. It's like making art. Even if you just make art to make art, you still want people to see it. You still want people to like it. You know, it's natural to want people to like things you create. So you will have this mental illness, even if you do well. I'm doing pretty all right, and I still have bad days where it's like, okay, I did half my average viewership today. Was I unfunny? Was I shitty? Am I a terrible person? Do I even deserve to, you'll spiral. It's a very natural thing when you're putting yourself out there, however often, and streaming, you're creating something and it will hurt. So please do not. If I can possibly convince you not to stream, don't stream. It's going to hurt. It's going to be way more work than it's worth. And it's going to be expensive. Very, very expensive. You're thinking, oh, I'll make money. People will donate to me. People donate to me semi-regularly. I still have not turned. I've been VTubing for 4 years, and I still have almost 4 years at this point, and I still have not turned a profit ever in my life. Hi, Hyper Robo, welcome in. I'm doing pretty all right. Where's the alg? Oh, you're so sweet, Tron. You're so sweet. I really do appreciate that. So again, don't start streaming. But if you hear all that and you're like, okay, I understand it's going to be hell. I want to do it anyway. If I can't possibly convince you not to, why would someone watch you? That is the single biggest question you need to answer. And if you don't know the answer, you're not going to be making good content. Somebody might enjoy it, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're making good content. And Twitch used to have something where you could ask your chatters, but it doesn't really have that anymore. So if you already have an audience and you're not sure what your appeal is, or even if you know what your appeal is, but you want to make sure, I would recommend putting out a poll in your community and saying, hey, why do you watch me? What do you enjoy? And make sure it's anonymous, otherwise people won't be honest. I'm actually probably going to do that after this stream. I'm pretty sure I know why people watch me, but you know, it doesn't hurt. Anyway, if you don't have an answer to this, if there's no answer, then you're not making good content and nobody's going to watch you. Now, the big thing here is value-based content. Usually that ends up being, oh, I'm providing entertainment. I'm entertaining, I'm funny, I'm whatever, so people want to watch me. And this kind of goes hand in hand with people who think they can just, oh, I'm really good at video games. That's going to be my stream gimmick. It's not necessarily interesting to watch somebody just do really good at a video game. It's interesting to watch somebody fail and flounder and try again. It's interesting to watch people make jokes or be funny. It's interesting to watch something informative like this. This is obviously not a super funny stream, but it's informative. It's value. You are watching this because it gives you value, you know? So you really, truly do need an answer to this question. Watching genuine anger at a game is sometimes funny. This is very, very true. If you're just amazing and perfect at everything you play, it ends up being boring. This is why Callidora is not doing any more Skyrim streams. She just walks into a room, casts a spell one time, everybody around her dies. There's no danger, so it's not interesting. You know? You need to struggle. You really, truly do. Beyond that, presentation. I happen to know one of my friends is actually starting becoming a streamer, and you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and copy his whole flow right here. Hey guys, thanks for coming to my stream. Today we're going to be playing Apex Legends, and I guess I'll talk every couple of minutes. Like I'm not really like funny, and like I don't like. I guess I don't really commentate all that much, but I hope you guys will watch me anyway. And yeah. Listen. Where the fuck is my mic? I can fix it now. Oh, there we go. Listen. Presentation matters. It really does. People need good presentation. People really do need good presentation. And people in chat are saying, oh, that was so great, Xbox Live vibes. Oh, that's weirdly nostalgic. It's great for a little bit, you know, you get that nostalgia. But if you're just going, and you're being quiet a lot, and it's just gameplay, there's nothing eye-catching, people aren't going to want to watch. For example, I have this beautiful overlay that I made myself, and I have, you know, myself in the corner. I have a chat box. I have a fucking streamer overlay. It's important to have nice presentation because it's basically telling your viewers, without even saying a word, I am putting effort into my content. I am trying to make something good. If somebody comes and they see just base gameplay with a bad mic over it, they're going to assume you just hit the go live button and you don't know what you're doing and all of that stuff. Even if they don't consciously think it, their brain will notice it. So it's very, very important to get a fucking overlay. If you don't have the fucking money for a VTuber model, get a PNG. If you don't have the money for a fucking PNG, there are picroos out there. There's so many options for you to do right now. And if you don't, I'm going to be honest with you, if you don't have the money to sink into a PNG, don't fucking stream. Streaming is expensive. Don't stream. But, you know, there are options out there. You know, Picroo, fucking PNG tuber, all of this shit. You know, pick up Critia, make a silly GIF. Pick up fucking, oh God, what's it called? VC Face. You know, there are a lot of options here that you can try. Frock, that was actually my webcam's built-in mic. That wasn't actually a distortion filter I have. So presentation is really, really important because without you saying a word, it tells the audience what your stream is all about, how much effort you're putting into it. And my presentation's pretty shitty. I'm going to be honest with you. It's pretty mid-tier. It's very, very basic. And, you know, I have YouTube chat. I don't know if you can even see it in the corner here. This is just kind of hanging out. My presentation is not very good. And this is, you know, very basic here, too. It's black on white. And, you know, the different talents on this channel all have varying levels of presentation, but we're all about here. If you want to get into more advanced presentation beyond this, I think this is fine, by the way. This basic level tells people you're a serious streamer and you're trying your best. If you go beyond this, it can really add some production value to your streams, but just this will, at the very least, tell people that you're serious about what you're doing. We'll get into more advanced stuff later, actually. Networking. Networking is incredibly important in all forms of streaming, but especially in VTubing. Because in VTubing, networking means art, networking means collabs, networking means friends. And if you just hit go live with no networking done, you're going to get 0 viewers. Discoverability on Twitch is terrible. Discoverability on Twitch can't be counted on. You need to have a way for people to find you. And Twitch helps with that a little bit. If you have a starting level, for me personally, I started on YouTube, which we'll get into YouTube versus Twitch later. But my debut stream, the very first stream I ever did, I think I had 15 people watching, which is not great, but it's not terrible. And that was all just because of the networking I've done. If you're saying, oh, I don't know how to networking. I don't know how to network. Networking's scary. People are scary. Yeah, people are scary, but that's part of the fucking job. If you want to be a streamer, if you literally want to be a streamer, you need to network. And it sucks. It really does. I fucking hate networking. I really do. I'm bad at it, but it is something that's mandatory. You need to be talking to people on Twitter, just like commenting on their posts so they get used to seeing your name. You need to be popping into their Twitch chats and saying, hi, you know, what's up? And you need to be getting them used to you, you know, and that way, when your debut does finally come around, you can say, hey, I'm doing this. I'm kind of nervous. Would you be there for me, buddy, pal, friend? You know, because you are sort of also making friends at the same time. And obviously some people are just going to use you for numbers and you're just going to use some people for numbers. That's part of the industry as well. And it sucks and I hate it, but it is part of it. Let me add a huge caveat to networking as well. If you go after somebody who's like way bigger than you, then it's going to be very, very obvious. You're just trying to go after them for numbers. You want to stick with people within, I would say, 20% of your viewership. Obviously, if you just happen to be friends with somebody, utilize that connection. If a big VTuber offers to collab with you and you have 0 viewers, accept it. I'm talking directly to my friend right now. Anyway, so if I was pre-debut again and I had to start everything over again, I would probably approach, for me, I've been active on Twitter for a while now, so I have friends. But if I was completely new, I would go on the VTuber tag on Twitter and on Twitch and try and find people in the 0 to 5 viewer range. Try and make friends with them, you know, and legitimately try. Don't just be like, hey, don't just put in the bare minimum. You legitimately have to try. You have to be like charming, you know, you have to be like, oh, I really like your model. Who did the art? Or, oh, that's such a funny joke, blah, 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 you know? And you have to put yourself out there. Again, that's what streaming is. Networking sucks and I hate it and I'm terrible at it, but it's part of the fucking job. What about those people that talk about their debut but never follow up on it? We call those V-tweeters. They are not VTubers. They are V-tweeters. I have very strong thoughts about V-tweeters, actually. V-tweeters, the people who just tweet, never stream. I don't think they're VTubers, you know? They're just... People have excuses for why they can't stream, but at the end of the day, going live is the easiest part of being a VTuber, and if you don't do that, then you're not a VTuber. Anyway, YouTube versus Twitch versus other platforms. Let's start with other platforms. Other platforms are shit. Do not stream on other platforms. They might offer better incentives, they might match your content better, but nobody fucking uses them. Like, if you're talking about, like, Kick or Fansly or what the fuck ever, nobody uses these platforms. Fansly is starting to pick up maybe just, like, a little bit, but nobody fucking uses these platforms, you know? So don't use them. Your discoverability is going to be, if there's 100 people on the platform, then, you know, you're not going to be able to grow beyond 100. What about Facebook streaming? Nobody uses... I can't speak for Facebook streaming. Facebook does have a pretty big viewer base, but I feel like the viewer base is elderly. You're mostly looking at boomers and up, and they're not the kinds of people who like VTubers, so know your audience. As for YouTube versus Twitch, personally, I'm on both. I am currently live on YouTube and on Twitch using a multi-stream app on OBS, which we'll get into later. I think that's the way to do it. But if you only picked one, I would say the biggest deciding factor there is how good you are at networking, and if you plan... Hello there, Pim Pam, and welcome in, Konkuro. Love to see you here, Konkuro. But the biggest deciding factor is, are you going to make prereq, and how good are you at networking? If you're really good at networking, Twitch. If you're planning on making any pre-recorded content at all, YouTube. Again, the best way to do it is multi-stream, because that way, if nothing else, you have an archive of your old streams that you have as a resource. Definitely multi-stream. Definitely multi-stream. YouTube and Twitch. And the way YouTube handles live streaming... Hello, Pim Pam. Yeah. I'm assuming people are going to be watching this VOD back on YouTube, honestly. I would strongly recommend it, but yes, multi-stream. And the way YouTube handles streaming is they're separate from your actual videos, meaning their analytics don't fuck with your pre-recorded analytics. So you don't have to worry about, oh, that was a shitty stream, it's gonna ruin my other videos in the algo. Don't have to worry about it. It's just a separate archive, as long as you are streaming to YouTube and not uploading your VODs to YouTube. So I legitimately think every single VTuber should be multi-streaming. Okay, so that's it for the very basics. We talked about presentation, and I talked about how this is bad presentation, and the previous slide was even worse. Oh, I forgot about audio. Audio is so important. For example, we have not had any music this entire time. It's been awkward. It's been weird. You want that audio glue on in the background. Not necessarily just because everybody likes music, but let me put it on and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I went silent there for a second and it was weird because there was absolutely no audio on the stream. If you have background music of any sort, that's a little loud. If you have background music of any sort, it just sort of works as like an audio glue to try and like connect everything together. It makes the whole stream seem more cohesive. It makes dead air seem less bad, and it makes everything just a little bit better. You know, audio is incredibly important. This goes double for your microphone, I will say. You know, people were talking like, oh, I really like this shitty mic. They like that shitty mic for 5 minutes. They wouldn't like that shitty mic for an entire, well, they might like it for an entire stream. That's actually an April Fool's idea that I'm probably gonna do. But, oh, I love this fucking song. They wouldn't want to listen to that for every single stream, you know? And I understand that a lot of you probably aren't audio engineers. I'm not a fucking audio engineer. So don't worry about it. Your audience isn't going to be audio engineers either. The way I have my shit set up, let's pop over to my OBS for the first time on this stream. We're probably going to be doing this a couple of times, honestly. We're probably going to pop over to my OBS a couple times just to make sure you guys can really see what I'm seeing. Okay, so here's my OBS. Okay? You like it because you like intentionally bad aesthetics? Here's the thing about that. That is my whole fucking bread and butter. Let me turn off my window capture and my game capture and my webcam that shouldn't be on. Look at this. This is fucking kitsch. This is intentionally ugly and it's great and I love it. That's my aesthetic, you know? And that's great. It goes fucking hard. But it's very intentionally done, you know? You have to know what the rules are to break them. You can see here I have my audio capture going, and what this is doing right here, this is called peaking, where it limits itself artificially to not go beyond a certain thing, because the audio input is so loud that all of it is reaching the absolute maximum. So what we can do is turn that down, turn this up a little, and see, now it's roughly the same level of sound, but you have more character in the sound because there's more of that range. Oh, hi, Frock. Thanks, Frock. And thanks for Seiken Okami. Yeah, I'm an idiot sometimes. Don't worry about it. Okay. Oh, that's not right, is it? Display capture. Let me shrink this on down. Okay, I'll show you what I was talking about then. Let me actually just zoom in here. Okay, audio output capture. This is my desktop capture. Let me put it back to the way it was. Right here, you can see it's just here. You know, that is where the audio output capture is limited to. So we turn down the YouTube video in this case, and we turn up the gain. So it's roughly the same level of volume. But you get a little bit more character. You know, you get a little bit more of a range to your audio. Instead of it just being at the same spot the entire time. That being said, there are also something called filters. This is what we call a gain filter. Why do I have a fucking gain on this? A gain is just makes it louder. A limiter. Everybody should have a limiter on every single one of their audio input sources. A lot of VTubers don't do this, and it's a very easy way for you to do something. You just set the threshold to what looks good here, and it will prevent the audio from going past that level. For example, you see here on my mic capture, I scream and it doesn't go beyond that level of decibel. This is good so you don't blow out your fucking viewers' ears, all right? You do it with the audio output capture too. You limit it so it can't blow out your fucking fans' ears. Levels are also important. Typically, I shoot for the microphone around there, and if I'm doing a collab with somebody, I'll try and get their mic around there too. Background music is about halfway up. These are just sort of the levels that work. Beyond that, there are tons of filters for a mic. You're gonna want some form of noise suppression, you know? Audio gates. For a very long time, I had a sound gate, which basically means if something is quieter than a certain level, it doesn't pick up. This is really, really handy for, like if you have a fan in the background, it won't be constant. But I turned this off because honestly, my levels weren't exactly right. And there was like some dropping. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so I turned my levels up and as you can see, my audio dropping out because the levels weren't set right, and I could turn it all the way down like here, and that would actually work pretty well. Yeah, I guess that's fine. We'll leave it here for now. Again, the important thing is not knowing how to do everything perfectly immediately. The important thing is knowing what sounds good to your personal ear and asking your fucking chat if you have it. Being like, hey, chat, how does my mic sound? Is there any ducking? Is there any fucking like drops? How's it sound? And you might be thinking, oh, I don't know how to use an EQ, you know, because my voice is EQ'd. Let me actually turn off the EQ so you can see. It's a pretty subtle fucking difference between EQ and not EQ. It really truly is. But if we turn on that EQ, it just sounds a little bit better, you know? And okay, I don't know how to use a fucking EQ either. But A, there are many, many tutorials out there, and B, you can kind of just fuck with it until it sounds nice to your ear. Your chat's not going to know audio engineering, so fucking just do it. You know, if it sounds good to you, it'll sound good to them. That being said, you do want to have a high pass here and a low pass here, but tutorials will help you with that. This is not a full, like, in-depth audio tutorial. Just EQ it till it sounds fucking nice to you, you know? Compressor makes the highs lower and the lows higher. It ruins the character of your voice a little. Like, this is compressor off right now, but if you have that compressor, it can make things sound a little bit better, and again, it prevents blowouts of your chat's ear. If you scream, it's going to sound okay, and if you whisper, it's going to sound okay, versus if you have a compressor, they're not going to be able to hear your whisper, and the scream is going to overpower them. Gain, again, just makes it louder. In this case, we need that because, actually, do we? Well, we don't need it. Actually, yes, you can see my mic is naturally around here. I think I had this set up because the gain on my audio interface was originally lower. Then we have a limiter, which we talked about with the audio output capture, so I'm not gonna harp on it again. Reverb, I use this for karaoke. You can just toggle it, it's easy. If you're interested in a in-depth guide on like how to set all of these filters up, there is some interesting stuff there, and I wouldn't mind talking about it. If you're interested in it, comment unironically down below, and if enough people do, I'll make a video on it, you know? Anyway, that's audio. Better presentation. Please take that away from the last section. Better presentation. Now, we're getting into the tech side of things. These are all the software programs and all of that shit. So, do we want to use Streamlabs OBS or OBS? Now, we're going back to my OBS. Again, this is OBS. I would personally strongly recommend OBS, but I will go over both of them just to be on the safe side. So this is Open Broadcasting Software, or OBS. Something I really like about this is you can rearrange the docs however you want, get them perfect however you like it. This is my personal preference. If it's not yours, by all means. I like having my activity feed here, so I can see when people do redeems, or see when people shout me out, or give me a raid, or whatever. I like having that there. Plus we have chat over here, we have my audio levels, and our controls. I think OBS is very, very nice to lay it out however you want. Now, Streamlabs OBS is a fork of OBS that doesn't have this terrifying, hyper-complicated, what is all this? I'm scared. Doesn't have that. So it's sort of like Apple versus PC. With a Apple computer, you can do most of the stuff you can do with a PC, but you don't have access to that backend to tweak things as you might want to. But it's easier to use. Whereas with OBS or a PC, you have access to all of that backend you can tweak, but the GUI might be a little bit more intimidating when you first see it, and you might be confused by a lot of the stuff there. That's okay. OBS is pretty simple. Again, if you want a tutorial on OBS in general, setting up OBS, that's a whole separate fucking video with the audio stuff, honestly. Comment down below if you want that, but I would strongly recommend OBS over Streamlabs OBS, even if you're tech incompetent, because chances are good one of your VTuber networking connections that you're making will know how to set up OBS, even if you don't. And there's lots of tutorials online. And you do need access to this back-end stuff, especially if you're going to be multi-streaming, which you all are going to be doing, right? Right? Yeah. So yeah, you need access to all of this. You need to be able to set your own bitrate and all of that good shit. So use OBS. And you can also have what's called plugins, which is sort of like mods for OBS. Multiple output is one. This is what lets me stream to YouTube here, you know? And you see I have Fansly here too. You can fucking plug in whatever you want to this plugin for OBS. OBS also takes less CPU. That is true. And a lot of the times you're going to be struggling for CPU. I have a fucking i9 and a 3080, and my model freezes when I play Skyrim. It's crazy, honestly. The VTubing programs will absolutely fucking lock your shit up, even if you have an excellent computer and you're playing old games, all right? So that does really matter. So that's it. That's my discussion for this. And then we move to VTS versus VC Face versus Warudo. Now, we're going to start with VC Face and Warudo because they're directly comparable. VC and Warudo are 3D engines. So VC Face is what I came up using, but Warudo is more used these days, and I can't really speak to its specifics because obviously I'm a live 2D user for the most part. Have fun, Frock. Bye-bye. I'm obviously a live 2D user. I do have a 3D model, but I don't use it because honestly, I think live 2Ds look better than 3Ds. This is very much a personal preference. If you have more money, I would say 3D is the way to go, because you can do more stuff with it, like rigging it to existing animation files or putting it in VR chat or, you know, full body tracking. I wish I had full body tracking. If you have more money, then 3D is the way to go, and if you're using 3D, you want to use Warudo. VC Face is now outdated and underused. Don't use it. In terms of 2D stuff, you have to be using live 2D here. There's really nothing else like it. You can freely select your background. Let me actually go into my room. VTS is a pretty simple program when you get down to it. You open the settings and it's scary, and oh, you guys can't actually see my settings because of the way I set up my my capture. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you should be able to see him now. Settings. There we go. It's intimidating. It's scary. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. It really doesn't. It's super easy once you get the hang of it. Like, okay, hotkey action. That's an action you do when you hit a hotkey. Key combination, numpad 0 and left control. Okay, so we hit both of those. Oh my god, it set an expression. Glasses. I wonder what that did. It's pretty easy when you do sit down and get to know it, honestly. And there's really nothing else like it. There is a phone app and a PC app. You're going to need to buy the PC app. There's also a collab DLC. I'm not running VTS through Steam right now, so it doesn't work. But you can freely collab with other live 2D VTubers. It's great. I use it every time I do a collab. Conqueror Kings in chat here. We use it all the time. We're using it Wednesday, actually, to finish up the Pokemon run. Yeah! It's great. It's pretty cheap as far as programs go. Buy VTS on your PC. Buy it on your streamer account. You want to have a streamer Steam account and a personal one so people can't dox you. And you want to buy it on your streamer one so when you run it through Steam, there's not the watermark, which is this. If you don't have it bought, this little fairy will always be just like goobing around. You know, you don't want this little fairy goobing in all of your streams. You don't want that. Just get rid of her. Throw her in the trash. You don't want that shit. So buy it on your streamer account. So that way, oh, I forgot to put a section on OPSEC. Shit. Oh, whatever. I'll cover it anyway. Anyway, buy it and the collab DLC. Don't buy it on your phone, though. Because, guess what? Guess what, chat? We call that a motherfucking segue. Call that a fucking segue. VBridger! What the hell is VBridger? Okay, so a lot of you probably don't actually even know what VBridger is. But that's what I'm here for, motherfucker. That's what I'm fucking here for, dude. Sorry, I'm trying to like set myself up in the corner. There we go. Okay, VBridger. This is this program. Hi! You can see I am so much more emotive than I am in the corner here. And that has to do with my rigging. Basically, what rigging is, if you really don't know, is how your model responds to your movements. So for example, when I turn my head, and that is to do with my rigging. Even the best live 2D rigging is gonna have issues and not be able to rig as good as this. The tracking on VBridger is miles better. Basically, it's like upgrading a $20, it's upgrading a $400 rig to a $700 or $800 rig just from using this program. You connect it to your iPhone. You need an iPhone if you're gonna use VBridger, unfortunately. If you don't have an iPhone, get an iPhone. Streaming is expensive, I warned you. Make it a community goal. Be a PNG tuber and have that be your first community goal, you know? Easy. But yeah, and then it connects directly into VTube Studio and sends the tracking data, whatever you want to call it. You're moving to VTube Studio and makes your model move. And it's a lot more expressive if you walk it through VBridger instead of just your rigging, honestly. And I think everybody should be using VBridger, but you're going to need a phone app called iFacial Mocap. That's like, I think like $10 on the App Store, something like that. And you put that on your phone, you have a local IP, you connect to your phone, and you connect to here. Everybody should be using VBridger if you're a live 2D. It's just like a cheap upgrade for your rigging, honestly. My rigging is pretty shit. I'm gonna be honest, listen. If my rigger is watching, I love you. We both know this is a pretty cheap rig. You don't even rig anymore as far as I know. Rutuli, I think, did my rigging. I love you, Rutuli. You did a great job and you were fantastic for the price. My rigging's not that great, you know? You know who has good rigging is Brytknee. Brytknee has amazing rigging. And even her rigging is a little limited, you know, compared to the VBridger avatar here, you know? And that's unavoidable, unfortunately. All you can really hope for is that the lip flaps match well enough and that you can pull some good expressions, you know? A lot of VTubers who have bad rigging, like myself, rather than make an expression like, you know, I look fucking normal. So what we have is called toggles. Like, instead of me just going like this, I have to hit a button, and then, yeah, like you can see I'm still smiling, but I'm angry because I hit the fucking toggle, you know? And we have toggles for all of our different expressions. These are things that you have to pay extra for when you're getting your model made. But if your rigging isn't fucking amazing like Dokibird's, then you're gonna need it, you know? Dokibird doesn't use a toggle, but Dokibird doesn't need one because Doki has like the best rigging I've ever seen, honestly. So everybody should be using VBridger is the point of this section. Then there is the miscellaneous tools. For example, stream labels, which never works properly. That's a tool I use that figures out my most recent shearer, everything at the bottom of the screen. It auto updates, and it's just a program I have to run. There's also something called Nightbot, where you can set up a chatbot for your Twitch chat, Streamlabs to monitor like follow goals and have alerts. Everybody needs to learn Streamlabs. Here, let me open my account. Come on. Also, dead air. Don't be having dead air. I know I have dead air occasionally. Don't be having dead air. Okay, alert boxes. You're gonna need to make custom alerts. There's not really a way around that. But, it's this kind of thing. Wait, no, don't. I want to test. There we go. Test, sub on YouTube. Yeah, look at that. That. When somebody, like, subs to you on YouTube, or... This is my YouTube account. I have a separate account for YouTube and Twitch, because, unfortunately, you need one. That kind of thing, is fucking a huge important part of being a streamer. It's part of your presentation, and it's part of how people see you, and it's cheap/free. That was entirely... Where the fuck is my thing? There it is. That was entirely free, what you saw. That was a GIF that's been on the internet for fucking forever, and that was the motion tracker sound from the hit film Aliens that I just scraped out. You know, super easy, super simple, but still tells you quite a bit about my content and who I am, and looks nice. You know, I'm actually going to log into my Twitch account now, and we can take a look at that. Because there are a couple more alerts I want to show you, because I do have a very high effort alert on my Twitch. Hi, Gamma. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Okay, Twitch account. So... we go to my alert box, and let's go ahead and test a sub, because that's the highest effort one I have. Twitch sub. So you can see it pops up with the appropriate text.
Test.
And the this is a subscription text will be whatever your chatter says. And that's pretty high effort. You know, I edited the GIF, I timed it properly, I had the sound effect, all of that good stuff. There's also, the follower one, which, you know, it's pixelated text. It makes sense. It's a snake because it was actually Callidora made it, and, you know, she's snake-themed. And it's just a really simple way you can sort of bring your content to the next level, you know? As for why I have the follower goal and sub goal permanently set to 2, that's very much a personal thing. I just like having small goals per stream that I always forget to reset. And if I reach them, great. If not, okay. I'll be sad about that, but there's not much I can do about it. And on that note, green screen effects. This is just a fucking video I found on YouTube, green screen. Ripped off the green screen, put it on OBS, super, super easy, super, super simple. It adds production value to your stream, you know? So you need to learn Streamlabs, you need to learn Nightbot, I would recommend. Personally, I like sound redeems, which I will do one of right now. You saw one earlier, but I'll do one right now. You know, I'll do one right now.
How can you talk if you haven't got a brain?
I don't know. But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
They're just fun little redeems to make your chat have fun, you know? And more. More is the most important part of this whole section right here. There are a million fucking tools for VTubers to use to add production value. There's like TITS, Twitch Integrated Throwing System, where viewers can throw objects at your model and fuck it up. There's, TITS is the big one, honestly. God, what the fuck is it called? I don't know, there's like another one everybody uses that, like, if somebody redeems a head pat, it automatically puts the head pat gif on you. Stuff along those lines. There's always a million things you can search and activate and use to add production value, but if you have too many things, it can end up feeling a little bit cluttered. If your aesthetic is cluttered and intentionally kind of ugly like mine, go for it. But a lot of the time, less is more. I would personally recommend getting Stream Labels, Nightbot, Streamlabs, Sound Redeems, and maybe 1 or 2 other programs, if even. If even. Moving on, we have content! Everybody's favorite! Yay! So I see a lot of fucking, like, how to be VTuber panels in, like, cons and shit that only talk about the technical side of things, like I just went over, you know? They talk about Streamlabs versus OBS, they talk about, do you want to stream on Twitch or YouTube or both, but they don't talk about how to be a good fucking streamer. So that's sort of what I'm gonna try and hit here. Welcome in, summertime, and no worries, you don't have to like show up at a certain time, I'm just happy to have you here, you know? And warm welcome to the Testicle Tyrant. So the first thing to hit on is improv versus prep. Certain streams will require more improv, certain streams will require more prep. A debut is going to be a lot of prep, a gameplay stream is going to be a lot of improv. I think there's a happy medium. For example, this stream right here is a showcase of improv versus prep. All I have written down are my base talking points, and then I'm improving on top of that. You know, I'm saying, okay, this is what I wanted to talk about, let's talk about it. I think both are really, really important. You need to know how to do both. Are you late for the staff meeting? No, we're just talking about how to be a good streamer, Tyrant. That's it. And I mean, I'm having a good time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a great time. But yeah, improv versus prep. So both are really important. I would say the thing that's most important for prep, we'll do a deep dive later, but I would say for prep, you want to write down talking points. You want to write down interesting things that happen to you during the day. You want to write down details about your chat members, for example. You want to have your shit on lock, so if you're floundering for something to say, you have something to fall back on, you know? A lot of the time, you're not going to be floundering once you sort of find your footing, but especially when you're first starting off and you're not good at improv, you're going to want more prep so you have something to fall back on if you have no idea what the fuck you're saying. As you stream, you will naturally get better and better at improv if you keep working at it, and it'll be less and less of an issue. I don't have any notes on any of my chatters because that shit's all in my head. I never write down interesting things that happen to me. And it's very rare that I write down topics I want to talk about because I've been doing this for almost 4 fucking years at this point. So my improv game is pretty top notch, I would say, you know, not to fucking toot my own horn too much. But when I first started, I had notes on chatters. I would always write down everything I wanted to talk about, anything interesting that happened and all of that. And when I say interesting that happened to you, you can sort of punch things up a little too. For example, yeah, exactly. What Summertime said, the Excel spreadsheet of us is inside my mind. I know my chatters at this point, you know? But yeah, interesting things that happen to you. So here's an example. What's actually a good example? Let me think for a second. Okay, I got one. So when I was in Pennsylvania for a convention a couple years back, I was at the mall with Silver Verity, another streamer I'm very fond of. And we were just kind of vibing, relaxing, and I'm from California, which is a very liberal area, obviously. And this girl came up to me and she was like, "Oh, I just wanted to let you know, Jesus will forgive you for no matter what you do, okay?" And in actuality, I just kind of said okay and walked away quickly. But to punch it up a little, make it stream worthy, I say, okay, I think that's a pretty interesting topic. Why don't we get to know each other over dinner? And obviously, you know, if they're a fucking Bible thumper, they're probably going to be a little homophobic. So a girl hitting on, you know, her, who was another girl, would make her uncomfortable. Whole big funny thing. You know, you punch it up a little for stream, but you do keep it, like, based in reality, obviously, you know? And, I wish I had said that. I really do wish. This chick probably just approached me, honestly, because, I have tattoos and piercings, and ooh, that's the devil's work. Hey, BB, is there a slide on comedy? Because your humor's kind of dry and brain rot. I love dry humor. I love dry humor. I'm not so big on brain rot, personally, But here's the thing, there's an audience for all kinds of humor, Gamma. If you're funny, there's an audience for that. Other people will have your sense of humor, and those kinds of people will sort of just naturally find you as you make content, you know? When you're first getting going, you're relying on your networking, but, you know, there is some discoverability. Every single person in chat right now, I did not headhunt. Frog, I found from networking, actually. I was in another VTubers chat, and I guess Frog ended up liking me. So Frog came on over from a collaboration. Summertime Y2K, I'm not sure. Testicle was a collab. Demipole just kind of showed up. People will just kind of show up sometimes, you know, and those kinds of people, if they like you, will stick around. So you will naturally build an audience that likes your content. Always remember, a solid 25% of the adults will still laugh at fart jokes. Hell yeah. Saw me on Twitter and love my concept. Oh, thank you so much. So that's a prime example of why having a presence outside of Twitch is so important. If you're offline on Twitch, nobody can discover you. YouTube, people will always be able to see your videos. Twitter, people will always be able to see your content. All of that shit. Oh, Demi showed up from the Crimbo collab to connect back to networking. Perfect. Well, first of all, Demi, thank you so much for sticking around. I'm glad I made a good first impression, because man, my brain was fried on that fucking collab. I was so dead. Well, we'll go into some more detail about collaboration later, because it is a really important part of networking, but we'll save that. We'll save that. If I forget to bring it up again, I think I have a mention of it on this slide, but if I forget at the end, we'll bring it up. Choosing a game. So I'm assuming most people are going to be video game streamers, because that's what most streamers are. And there are two ways to do this. Number one is play one game, period, over and over and over, and really dig into that niche. If you do that, though, you're going to need to be amazing at it. For example, the best Super Metroid streamer in the world, Zosty, he's not a super entertaining person. It's like passive income. You got to make sure you have content working for you outside of your hours. Exactly. What Slightly Blue said in chat up there. You got to have shit working. I would recommend everybody do a little pre-recorded content on YouTube. We'll talk about YouTube and prereq content. You know, let's talk about that right the fuck now. Why not, right? Why the fuck not? All right, let's go over to my YouTube, and you can judge all of my recommendations. I watch so much Red Letter Media. Oh my god, I watch so much Red Letter Media. Hi, Slightly Blue. You think the stream kicked forward from the subject? What are you talking about? Okay, so videos. You know, fucking 1.8K. This is doing so well. I'm so proud of my girl. I'm so proud of my girl. She beat the fuck out of me, 634. You know, these numbers aren't amazing, but people can see these, and I do have people who come into my YouTube chat who say, hey, you know, I watched your ASMR video and I liked it, so here I am. This is actually stream highlight. This is something I recorded outside. This is something I animated outside. Stream highlight, stream highlight, stream highlight. Just a stream I re-uploaded. Don't do this, by the way. Don't re-upload a stream. Highlight. Highlight videos don't tend to do super well, so I would personally steer away from them unless you have an editor. If you pay an editor, highlights can be great. But if you don't, I would say make pre-recorded content, whatever you feel most comfortable making. Shorts are really the best way to grow on YouTube right now. And my shorts don't do very well, honestly. I need to make more. My shorts don't do great, but, you know, it does drive interest, and these are always quote-unquote live. People can always discover you from a YouTube page or from a Twitter page, you know? And that's great, you know? That's fucking great, because people can discover you when you're offline, you know? You can get more viewers that way. Also, this remains the single short I'm proudest of. Dude, the editing on this, that's another thing people don't realize is prep time. This is like a minute-long video. Let's just watch this, and then we'll talk about it.
Whoa, bro, is that Monster Girl Encyclopedia? Holy shit, I'm such a... Whoa, bro, is that Monster Girl Encyclopedia? Holy shit, I'm such a monster fucker, oh my god. No, fuck off. Listen, you like girls in fantasy cosplay lingerie, alright? If she was naked, she would literally just look like every other anime woman, maybe with weird ears.
I feel very
boots,
strongly
and
about
gloves.
this.
Come on now. If you want to see some real monster fucking,
Drop it.
Okay, so, like, it's a pretty simple video. Thank you, Demi-Pull. I fucking appreciate it. Okay, so a couple things about this. Number one, this is the short I'm most proud of because the editing took me so fucking long, you don't even fucking know. Holy shit. Because, you know, it's a highly edited video. I don't think it's, like, super, super funny, but... Number two, it's always live. And number three, I will admit, there's a little bit of engagement baiting. Not a lot, but a little. Him, Zoidberg, Blue Eyes White Dragon, and let's see here. Where's Callidora? Where's Callie? Where's Callie? Where the hell is Callie? Okay, there's just like a plain Gorgon girl too. Those are your engagement bait, to be entirely honest with you. I truly do believe what I said, otherwise I wouldn't have fucking said it. But he is in here along with Zoidberg to get people to comment like, what the fuck? Oh my god, my childhood. Well, he's in here for oh my god, what the fuck? And my childhood. Blue Eyes is here for my childhood. Zoidberg is here for what the fuck. And Callidora is here to get people to comment and say, oh my god, what the hell? That's exactly what I fucking said. See, Jason Jelly commented on this short. Jason Jelly's in fucking my YouTube chat right now, dude. Or he was a while ago. From these shorts, having offline discoverability is super, super, super important. I'm not saying you should load your content with engagement bait either. I think it's very important to make content you can stand behind, but making decisions based on that sort of thing can also be helpful. Like, again, I still fucking I absolutely would fuck this guy, and I would fuck Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I'd fuck Callidora, but you know, having that little bit there, just to have something for people to comment on, can be helpful. I do see some creators who take it way too far, and they'll like stop their videos and say, hey, if you've made it this far, leave a comment down below, just to let me know you made it this far. Don't do that. Don't do anything that is disruptive to the viewer's experience, otherwise it can be annoying and come across as desperate. This is not annoying, this is not desperate. This doesn't give you a worse experience, you know? Because my choice of monster here ultimately doesn't super matter for the purpose of the video, you know? And I would fuck this. Absolutely. But it gives people something to latch onto a little bit, you know? Anyway, choosing a game. Choosing a game is incredibly important. I've been playing so much Slay the Spire off stream. Oh my fucking god. 117.6 hours. Truth be told, this stream was almost slightly late because I was in the middle of a run, and I have so many mods that if I stop in the middle of a run, it fucks everything up, so I can't stop in the middle of a run. But I don't play Slay the Spire on stream. There's a reason for that. And the reason for that is there are games that are terrible stream games. Terrible stream games include, in my personal opinion, anything you get too invested in, and anything that is boring visually to watch. Slay the Spire is both of those for me. I get so sucked into it. If it's a game you really truly fixate on, and you just focus entirely all of your attention on, you can't be entertaining while you're playing it, you know? You can't be commentating because you're so focused on playing the game properly. So don't pick games like that. Don't pick games that you truly fixate on. If it's something you truly love, I would be a little hesitant as well, because a lot of the time your chat isn't gonna necessarily love it like you do, you know? And if you end up just gushing about the game, that's not super interesting to watch either. It can work if you already have a big established viewer base, but I see a lot of people who love long-form RPGs, and those aren't good for content. Is butt slapping? I don't know what that is, Gamma. For RPGs and story-based games in general, they're pretty bad games as well, just because if somebody misses one stream, they have no idea what's going on with the plot, and they feel like it's pointless to show up for other ones too, because they've already missed it. Why bother, you know? So I would personally recommend against games that you get super fixated on, games that aren't visually interesting, and what was the third one? Story-based games, right. Niche. Niches are super important. They really, truly are. My niche, if you could call it that, is honestly, I'm still kind of bouncing around trying to find mine. I'm hitting ASMR lately, but I'd say right now I'm a variety streamer, which is not a niche. I think finding a good niche is really helpful for growth. Being the X VTuber, being the Fire Emblem VTuber, being the Pokemon VTuber, that kind of niche can be really, really helpful because it helps the algorithms determine who to send your content to, you know? And it also makes it easier for fans of that content to find you. So like if you love Star Wars and you just want to stream Star Wars games, that's your niche. You don't need a niche necessarily, but it does really help for growth. I would say even if your content in general is overall, you should find a niche for your prereq stuff and your side content, because again, you need to have a presence outside of streaming. My niche for my side content so far has been monster fucking, as you just saw. And I'm starting to break into ASMR a little bit as well. These niches are not super strict either. You won't get like penalized if you make something different unless you're really firmly in that niche. Oh, Morty, thank you so much for the follow, or for the sub. I really appreciate it.
A niche in French is a dog house.
Oh, I did not know
Sorry
that.
for the weird fact.
I did not know that. That's kind of neat. But yeah, these niches are not super like important if you have a history of doing variety content. If like you only make Star Wars content and then all of a sudden you make fucking high fantasy, nobody's gonna click it, you know? And that's okay, but you have to be aware of that. Beyond that, I would say there's another fucking fact I wanted to hit and I can't think of it right now. Finding a niche, niches aren't super specific. If you only make Star Wars content, then you do something else. I got nothing. I might think of it later, but... See, this is part of the problem with improv, is you don't necessarily have everything perfect. But that's okay too, you know? Sometimes things are a little bit better for their imperfections because they feel more genuine, you know? Anyway, improving. This is a huge one. This goes for literally anything. I don't care if you're watching this because you like me. First of all, thank you. You're really cool. But second of all, take this to heart, even if you're not a fucking streamer, okay? If you want to make Star Wars content, but then one day you make Star Trek content. No, I was thinking that, but honestly, I think Star Trek would do okay otherwise. Because Star Wars and Star Trek have a little bit of overlap with sci-fi. Anyway, improving. Every single creative process, everything in the world, not even just creative process, everything in the world is a process of improving. I've been streaming for 4 years. I've gotten better with each and every stream I stream. I honestly think this is one of my better streams that I've done, to be entirely honest with you. And wouldn't you know it, it's the most recent one. People have a tendency to rest on their laurels, but a lot of the time, it's important to also be aware of your shortcomings and work on them. You should always be actively trying to see what other people are doing better than you and working on fixing that, you know? Morty asks, high quality stream will not bring you more viewer? Not necessarily, honestly. A lot of the times viewership is independent of stream quality. One of my very favorite streams I've ever did was one of my least viewed of all time. That is something that can help with the mental illness aspect of things that I talked about earlier, is knowing that fact. But, a lot of the time, a better stream won't necessarily bring more viewers for that specific stream. It might get people talking about your content and then sharing it to their friends, which will help you grow. And obviously, if your content's not good, people aren't going to click on it, but you do have to keep that in mind. Not gonna lie, my ability to play Getting Over It really well brought in a lot of strangers to your wife's streams when she needs you to cover an hour. That's fair, Demi. I could definitely see that being the case. If it's a super hard game and you're really good at it, that can be entertaining to see as well. But it does have to be something incredibly hard, like Getting Over It or a speedrun. And you have to be really good at it. I speedrun Super Metroid. It hasn't brought me... It's honestly my worst performing content that I make is my Super Metroid content. I love Super Metroid. It's my favorite game. It's not my niche. I tried. There just doesn't really seem to be a fandom out there for Super Metroid content. So I moved on, and I'll still play Super Metroid because I enjoy it. Oh, that was something I wanted to talk about for choosing a game, enjoying things. Super Metroid is my favorite game. It's very rare I'll stream it or ROM hack of it or anything, because viewership does matter, you know? If you're not playing something you enjoy, you're not going to be a funny streamer because you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be annoyed, you're going to be pissed off. Yeah, no, Morty, I always think of you when I stream Super Metroid, honestly, because I see you come in and we talk a little. But, choosing a game that's fun, but is also good for viewership is a very delicate art that I'm personally not very good at going back to improving. You know, it's something I'm working at. It's something that I constantly check my analytics for. For example, I put together my schedule for next week today, and wouldn't you know it, I had a free slot, so you know what I did? I looked at my YouTube channel, and I said, okay, let's go to my streams, live button, popular. What has been doing well? I can't stream more of this, I beat it. Can't stream more of this, I beat it. Hardcore modded Minecraft, great, that's gonna be on the schedule. Touching Grass can't stream for money related reasons. This, I did another stream of, didn't go well, so this is a fluke. This, we talked about before. This, I think is honestly a fluke. Well, no, Shot Caller's stuff does tend to do better, but I didn't want to do one, so I didn't include it. So I'll look at my analytics and see, okay, what is doing well that I will enjoy doing? Like System Shock, this is doing well. 146 is pretty good for my channel. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. I had a terrible time. I do not want to play any more of this. I'm not going to stream it because it wouldn't be a fun stream, you know? One thing you notice is games on sale or new games on Steam does aggro more viewers. Yes, that is true as well, because people are Googling content for a new fresh game because they want to see, oh, should I buy this? You know, so that is something to keep in mind. Art never does well on my streams for some reason. This did really well. I'm thinking because Crimbo was here. This did really good too, but if we go to recent, we can see I did an art stream 2 weeks ago that did shitty. You know, and Fly Night did fucking awful. But I had a great time, so I did it anyway. You need to sort of balance that. They say movie makers make one for them, one for me. I think you mostly focus on content that's good for growth, but every so often you throw in just some weird shit that you fucking love, you know? I tried that with Rabby Ribby. Nah. I didn't end up loving it enough to do it regularly, but that's what this is, this Pokemon ROM hack with Konkuro King. The viewership is okay, it's getting worse with each stream. I streamed it, yeah, 3 days ago, and the viewership was trash, but I'm really enjoying it, so we're gonna finish the series, you know? Every time you try art, it fails. Art is hard. You loved Fly Night? Listen, Barebones, I loved Fly Night, and I think Fly Night was legitimately one of my better streams. That was such a good stream. I had a great time doing it, but it wasn't good for viewership, you know? And it sucks, but that's what it is. It's almost over, though. Yeah, this Wednesday is going to be the finale, actually. I should have scheduled it. We'll go into how to schedule streams and everything later when I'm walking through my back end. But yeah, it's gonna be over soon. It's sad. Old School RuneScape. This is, okay, I actually want to make specific mention of this stream, okay? This is a game that is terrible for streaming because it's not visually interesting. So we'll see. Chat doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and you're doing the exact same thing for hours and hours and hours. There are many successful old school RuneScape focused YouTube channels that tend to do pre-recorded content, guides, because that answers the question of why are they watching you, for knowledge. Guides, it's the value of the content, is you're telling somebody how to do this. So that's valuable, so people watch it. But just a stream of this game is super, super boring to watch. But I honestly needed to grind this out before my membership expired. I needed to make some time to do that. So it's like, okay, I need to stream this game. I need to put this time slot in. How am I going to make this interesting? So I actually had a huge notepad of topics prepared to talk about. And, you know, I'll talk about the game too.
Do groceries
but
with Miss Sharts today, right?
We're talking. I'm sharing a anecdote.
We got in the car and we were hungry. So we were looking at our applications on our phone to try and...
You know, I'm telling a fucking story. I have shit written down to talk about. This, as far as I'm concerned, this is a just chatting stream. This is fully just chatting. The game does not matter at all. Minecraft is a lot like that as well. Not as nearly as intense because Minecraft is at least nice to look at and chat knows what's going on. But, you know, it is important to keep that in mind. And choosing a game, again, you have to choose with some level of care. You can't just put whatever you want on the schedule, unfortunately. You need to pay attention to your viewership, how it changes based on what you play, and you need to pay attention to your quality content. If you play a game that's bad and your content sucks because of it, that's something to work on for improvement. Again, after this stream, I'm going to put a poll in my fucking Discord and be like, hey, why do you watch me? So I can see, you know, what it is I need to focus on moving forward. And I'm not just like resting on my laurels. I'm not just saying, okay, I've streamed for 4 years. I know how to stream by now. I'm not going to worry about it. No, there's always something that can be improved. Nobody is perfect at creating content. Nobody's perfect in general. And I see a lot of artists too who just rest on their laurels, and there's always something that can be improved, you know? Finding a persona that works for you? Well, that's a very specific topic for this channel, Morty Got VR. That's a very specific topic for this channel. But yeah, no, I mean, there's always stuff to be improved, you know? I've been streaming for 4 years, and you'll notice the content on this YouTube channel only goes back like 1, because I switched. I was originally just me, and then Callidora took over, and then all of us are here now, so... You know, it's a process, and don't feel bad if you don't click right away, you know? Sometimes you just need to grind out your content, you know? What if you suck at the game? Like, you like the game but kind of suck. That's fine, honestly. That's totally fine as long as you're entertaining. It all comes down to that first question of, why would someone watch you? Are you being entertaining? No. Why not? 99% of the time, you're trying to be entertaining. For this one specifically, I'm mostly trying to be informative. I like to think I'm still a little entertaining, you know, I'm being funny or whatever, but for the most part, I'm providing value through a guide, you know? And that is an answer, that's a legit answer to that question. But you need to answer that question. What value am I providing to the audience? Why are they watching me? You know? But little sorry, your first persona wasn't... It happens, Morty. Make friends with chat. This is insane to me, but I've seen so many streamers who completely ignore chat, which is insane. These people are here to see you. They are people. Every single person who sends a message is a person. They want to feel noticed. They want to feel liked. Talk to them. Be friends with them. Remember things about them. Okay, Morty Got VR. What do I have on Morty Got VR? Okay, he's a streamer. He likes Super Metroid. He's got VR. He plays Beat Saber sometimes. He raids into me. So, okay, knowing that, if Morty is in chat and I'm desperate for something to talk about, I'll reach out to Morty and say, hey, I've been thinking about picking up this VR game. What do you think about this? You know, you bring chat into your content. A lot of the times, content creation is very, very solo. You're just kind of sitting here and chat's there. And sometimes chat will be talking, great. Sometimes chat won't be, and you can sort of bring them in, you know? Besides the bots you have to ban, well, yeah, you just ban the bots and fucking move on. And if you don't have a chat, it's rough. It really, truly is, especially when you only have 1 viewer, because if you have 1 viewer, you don't want to overwhelm them by constantly talking to them, you know? You don't want to do that. If you're a giant streamer, it's very understandable if you can't keep up with chat. I get it. But like one of the big reasons people watch indie VTubers is because chat is slower, so you can be friends with chat and communicate with them. Like fucking Backsack is one of my moderators, and I shared a room with him at a convention recently. I met Frog God at a convention recently. These people are my friends, you know? It's not just I'm sorry, I need some fucking water. It's not just a strict separation between you and your chat. And even if you don't particularly like a member of your chat, they're still taking time out of their schedule to see you and watch you and view you. So at the very least, you can, you know, put some fucking effort into being nice to them, you know? Okay, so that's it for content. Again, we'll do some deep dives later, but how to grow. Being serious, being friends with chat is a divisive topic amongst VTubers. It's true that you always feel noticed, and I'm so glad to hear that, Summertime, because I pay attention to you guys. I high-key do. Okay. I wanna talk on what Konkuro King said and what Morty said. Okay, so there is an etiquette to being a chat member. There truly is. There truly, truly is. We're actually gonna go here for a second. Yeah, penis. There's an etiquette to being a chat member, and there's an etiquette to being a streamer, okay? If you're being a chat member, don't trauma dump in chat. That's pretty natural. Also, don't be weird, creepy, and parasocial. Some streamers, like myself, will encourage parasocialism. I'm fucking parasocial as shit towards my chat. My chat is my friend. But that doesn't necessarily mean I want you guys talking about how much you want to fuck me, how much you're in love with me. You don't fucking know much about me, honestly. We hang out all the time. You're my friend? Absolutely. That doesn't mean I'm your girlfriend. But in our case, it's different because you guys are my boyfriend. Anyway, being friends with chat is divisive, yes. But chat is your biggest resource as a VTuber, honestly. No, I absolutely am Forsaken. I absolutely am Forsaken. Love you, boo. Mwah! Anyway, as a chatter, don't trauma dump. That's the biggest thing. There are toxic people. There absolutely are. But most of the time, streams are bright, they're cheerful, they're fun, they're happy. If you come in and say, let's go, my dog just died, dude, I'm so depressed right now, my dog died, this horrible thing happened to me. Great, I'm over here talking about penises, so, you know, it's not the place. It really isn't the place. The streamer isn't your personal therapist, and people are here to be entertained, not to bring the mood down, you know? And in case you're wondering, my dog just died, let's go is an old VTuber meme, actually. But, you know, chatters, there's an etiquette to it, and there's also an etiquette to being a streamer, you know? There are little tricks and tips you'll pick up as a streamer as well. For example, if somebody says something like that in chat, if somebody said that in chat, I wouldn't bring it up. I wouldn't be like, hey, don't do that. I probably should, but that also sort of brings the mood down and brings more attention to it. My strat is you look over a chat and obviously you read every single fucking message chat sends. But you don't necessarily respond to all of them, and you can sort of pretend that you don't see them sometimes, you know? For example, I'm not gonna comment, I'm sorry to do this, but what Frog said, sad, not the dog man. I'm not gonna comment on that, because it's sad. You know, I don't want to bring the mood down. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't read it, you know? It's easy. And, your chat is your biggest resource as a streamer, because if you're sitting here frantically trying to think of something to say, talk to chat. They're people. If you were in a room full of people, you wouldn't just be sitting in silence, you'd make conversation with them. Absolutely make conversation with chat. Absolutely fucking do that. And that's part of the reason why it's so important to know your chat. For example, Frog God, I know quite a bit about, so I can ask him, I can say, hey, Froggy, did you ever play Kirby Mass Attack? Kirby Mass Attack was in fact the only Kirby game that I didn't fucking beat. And like, it's not a very good game, but it's not like awful too. I guess I don't know why I got as angry with it as I did. But see, what I'm doing is I know Frog God loves Kirby, and that gives me a topic. I can go off on that topic and then have Frog God talk about that, and then we're having a fucking conversation and there's not dead air on stream. You never want to have dead air on stream. Dead air is boring. Why you know this stuff, streamer? Because you tell me. You always tell me, Frog. I pay attention to you guys because I love you guys. I really, truly do. Like, I legitimately do consider chat to be like one of my dearest friends. Like, I miss you guys when I go like a week without streaming for whatever reason. I really do miss you guys. Crazy. Anyway, how to grow. This is a big, important topic. I know. Networking. Networking. Again, we talked about this before. We're gonna talk about it again. Pick somebody. Well, I'm sorry, you guys can't see. My brain doesn't work sometimes, so there is that. But networking, yeah. You guys, we talked about this, but networking is crazy, crazy important. Collabs are an amazing way to grow. But you don't want to do bad collabs. And what that means is, for example, with Konkuro King, we've collabed so many times at this point, it's not going to help either of us grow because our communities know each other pretty well at this point, I would say. Although, actually, Konkuro's community barely knows me. My community knows Konkuro, but not vice versa. Because we always collab on my channel. But the point is, collabing with Konkuro is not going to super help me past a certain point because our communities already know each other, and we have the same audience, so we're not going to really grow. A good way to grow with networking and collabs is collabing with people who are entirely unrelated to your community, who are, you know, obviously around the same size or bigger, as big as you can possibly get. But again, if you're punching above your weight class, people are going to assume you're only trying to befriend them because of their numbers, which in this case would be true, and is a shitty thing to do. You typically want to stick within 20% of your average CCV, unless you just really vibe with somebody. Like, I honestly don't feel... I don't remember Konkuro's numbers off the top of my head, but I want to say he's smaller than me. But I fucking vibe with, I love that fool, you know? We're good friends at this point, so I want to collab with him, even if it's not going to be helpful for me to grow, you know? Also, there's a study that says collabs aren't popular because chat can feel ignored. Chat is king. Absolutely. If you get a collab that's too big, that can be a huge problem, which is something I wanted to touch on. I know a lot of people who start streaming and they just end up streaming like a Discord call with their friends. They have like 6 people. It's chaos. Nobody's talking to chat. Nobody's being a streamer. I don't like your friends. Chat doesn't like your friends. Chat likes you. Chat is here for you, to interact with you. Chat is not here to listen to a group of people talk. You know? That is not value. How do you be a VTuber in 1995? Welcome in, Backsack. I hope you're doing well. You don't. Well, actually, you could probably rig something up with, like, paper, like a puppet show or something. Yeah, you could probably do a puppet show, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, ideally for me, my viewership right now is 15, but my average CCV is around 11, which is actually low for me, but anyway, 11. So I would look for somebody in the 8 to 15 range to collab with. And obviously you're not judging purely based off numbers. You also need to legitimately be friends with, you need to legitimately have a good dynamic with this person. Otherwise it's going to be boring. But that kind of thing can help you grow, but you shouldn't overdo it. If all you do is collabs, you're not going to really have any identity of yourself, you know? Max Headroom figured it out in the 80s. That's very true. Mood is very, very important as well. If you make super serious content and you collab with like me and I'm fucking around and I have my fucking penis music playing, that's not really gonna work. On the flip side, if you're somebody like me and you try and collab with somebody who tackles serious subjects like whatever, then it's not gonna work. Those people aren't gonna be interested in my content, you know? And, you know, if you're just going live and fucking around with your friends, you're not going to be entertaining content. You need to be paying attention to chat even during collabs. And collabs are really important for growth, but they are also a killer for your channel if you do too much of them and too often. And I say this as somebody who does collabs both too often and with people too close to me. I don't take my own advice here, and that's because, to be entirely honest, my dream has kind of died. I realize I'm never gonna be super, super popular, so I'm mostly in streaming for fun at this point, you know? Oh man, being called a gilf on stream. That was so long ago, Morty. God, yeah, no, Morty is from a collab as well. God, I forgot about that. I've known, what is her name, Luna? I've known Luna for like, God, over a decade at this point, honestly, Morty. And I collabed with her one time, because I don't think we have a super good dynamic on stream. We have an alright dynamic on stream, but not like a great one. And you know, we did our collab. It was great. It was fun. That was with Bimbo and Colt as well. I keep trying to talk to Colt about doing a collab. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, collabs can kill your channel, so if you're really desperate to grow, be very careful with them as well. Again, you know, I've kind of, at this point, the dream is dead. It's pretty unlikely that I'm gonna get into Hollow, so I'm just doing it for a hobby at this point, honestly. It is what it is. Although I will say I'm doing ASMR for the sole purpose of growing, and I enjoy it, obviously. But ASMR is a growth hope for me, and if it picks up enough, I could get into Hollow. Hololive is a VTuber corporation that I would very much like to join. Well, I kind of bumped these points together, so we're just going to move on. Non-stream content. We talked about this. We talked about discoverability already. So now we're going to do a deep dive on some specific things. Number 1, your debut stream. Why even do one? Should you do a debut stream? Yes. Why? The reason you need to do a debut stream is because special events always do better, because people who don't necessarily set aside time to watch you just play a game will set aside time to be there for you on your special day, you know? It's like, you know, you might not hang out with your friend every day, but your friend's gonna be there on your birthday party, you know? Your friend's gonna be there. So, streaming special events is always helpful, as long as you don't overdo it. I honestly overdo it a little bit, but I've been good. I haven't streamed a special event in a very long time. But debuts are a good excuse to do a special event stream, which is a good excuse to get people who wouldn't necessarily set aside time for you to set aside time for you. So do one. What should you do? Well, you have a couple options. You could do a PowerPoint, or you could do planned bits. Now, personally, I would recommend you do a PowerPoint because PowerPoints are really, really easy. PowerPoints are, you just have your list and you go through it and you don't need to improv too much. Planned bits are much more freeform and can be difficult. For an example of both of these, if you really want to sit down and look at them, my debut on this channel is a PowerPoint, and Brytknee's debut on this channel is planned bits. You guys want to do a PowerPoint, especially if you're just starting off. Planned bits it's too difficult. It takes a lot of streaming skill to stream a just chatting stream along just based on some bits that you have, while still providing a satisfactory self-introduction. So you want to do a PowerPoint. Or do you want to do a game? No, you don't want to do a game. That's not a special event. Okay, so you're doing a PowerPoint. What are you doing? First of all, you're going to want to credit people. Let's actually pull up my PowerPoint. Oh my god. Oh my god. I shouldn't share my screen right now. Oh my god. Let's pull up my PowerPoint, because fuck it, I just said I did one, right? Let's pull it up. I use Google Drive so much, dude. Debut, LMAO. Okay. So obviously there are things I do different. But let's go through the whole PowerPoint, you know? So you have a title screen to just... You have this up while you greet chat, while you say hello, and you say thanks for coming, all of that good stuff. And then you get into it. This doesn't need to be super visually distinct, but it should say a little bit about you. I have a little smiley face because I'm not super serious. I misspelled my name because I'm not super serious. You give thanks to the people who made drew your art, rigged your model, did anything else for you. And then you move on. So this is just like a dumb gimmick I did. Then, likes. And the important thing with likes, the important thing with likes/dislikes, can I actually, hold on. Let me make these separate windows so I can alt-tab between the two of them. Okay. Right, likes, dislikes. So the important thing with likes, dislikes is these should be a springing off point. You shouldn't be reading from a list. Okay, I like aliens. Great. Who cares? But then you spin that into a bit. You talk about your tier list, and this took like an hour, I think, out of my debut, just talking about this tier list, which said a lot about me and was interesting, I hope, and, you know, entertaining, I think, personally. It's content, you know? And okay, then you come back and you talk about these in detail. You know, you say stargazing. Okay, I love stargazing because this, that, the other thing. Talk about snails, bats, and cats, all of this stuff. You know, you don't just read out the list. You talk about what it means to you and why it's important, you know? Then we go back to this and you say likes, dislikes, and favorites. Again, same sort of thing. You have bits. You talk about things. Why don't you like the dentist? I'm deeply scared of the dentist. Why don't you like the color brown? It's boring. Why don't you like eating your veggies? They're gross. Why don't you like pretentious games? Because I took game design courses in college and was forced to play a great many of them, and none of them are fun and none of them are interesting. And then for this one specifically, the bit was that I don't have a bit. I just said the intense feeling of loneliness you get when you spend all your time alone. And then I just moved right on. And then, you know, all VTubers have a little bit of lore, so we talk about our lore. I was your average, everyday girl until one fateful day. Nothing happened. I'm still pretty normal. See, I'm a human. I don't have much in the way of actual lore. You know, so for me, I made a joke about it, you know? But it is important to have that little note. And then we have goals. You know, what kind of stuff do you want to do so chat knows what to expect, you know? Oh man, I made this like 4 years ago. I've done the first one, I've done the second one, have not done the third. I don't really do lewd streams all that often, maybe once every couple of months. I think I've done like 4 board game collabs total. Finding the... Okay, I did actually find this. The answer to that is Take Me to the Dungeon. That game is amazing. I fucking love that game. Anyway, and then you get into your meta goals. This is what you want your channel to do. Do lots of fun collabs. I did a lot of those. Get lots of subs. Yeah. Figure out how to stream DDR. I know how, but I don't have the money. Do a karaoke stream. Check mark. Get lots of fan art. Check mark. Have fun with you guys, my loyal earthlings. You should name your chat. My chat is my loyal earthlings. Callie's is her hatchlings. Yada yada yada. Then you show your schedule off. God, this schedule's fucking hideous. Oh my god, I've learned so much since I made this PowerPoint. Oh my god. But you show off your schedule so people know when to catch you. God, 7 p.m. PST? Nobody would show up. Oh my god, that's so late. All of my chat members are EST now, which I'm very conscious of when I schedule. You know, this would be too late for them. I could stream 2 hours and then they'd all need to go to bed, you know? Hashtags, these aren't important, but you should include them anyway. Art tag, and then not safe for work art tag. Nobody's gonna use them, but some people might ask, so having them is not a bad idea. This is no longer accurate, but make sure to plug your socials, and then you can show off any of your fan art that you have. And the most important thing to do on a debut stream is a model showcase. That means you pick your model up and you go in the center of the screen and you're like, oh my god, look at my legs. I'm so leggy. Look at my legs. Look at my thighs. You know, you show off your whole ass model and you wiggle for the chat a little bit. And chat, I'm about to let you guys in on a secret. All right, you ready? You ready here? You find an excuse to zoom in right here. Whatever the excuse is. For example, for me, I was like, oh, look at this, my skirt lights up. It's super cute, right, chat? Right, chat? Right, chat? But of course, nobody's looking at my skirt. You know? You find an excuse, and I mean, here's the thing. You want to have some plausible deniability. You don't want to be like, oh yeah, just look at my tits. No, because that's slutty. And not that there's anything wrong with being slutty, but people don't tend to like to watch that kind of thing. You know, they want to feel like they're like being a little sneaky. You know, you kind of have to get that thought going on as well, you know? Make them pecs down. What if you're a dude? Well, you say that like I wouldn't want to look at a dude's pecs, dude. Thirst posting over dudes is absolutely still a thing. Anyway, so your debut stream is going to be the most prep you ever do for a stream, to be entirely honest with you, excepting maybe like a marathon later on, but debut is going to take a lot of work. Here's your checklist. You're going to want to do some networking so you can have some fucking viewership. what you're gonna want to do is, like I said before, go into a bunch of people's chats, talk to them, get to know them, become friends, talk on Discord. Hopefully talk to Discord, but not necessarily. Do some networking. Do your fucking networking reps. Do a lot of this, honestly. Do a lot of this. You should have like 10, 15 friends at this point. Beyond that, you're gonna want to make a PowerPoint, like we talked about. PowerPoints, you know, mine was super fucking simple, but you're going to want to build stuff into it that you can talk about. You're going to want to build into it stream moments instead of just reading off a list. Give network, please. Well, the axolotl is my network now, Barebones. The axolotl is gonna come to my debut, you know? The axolotl is gonna come to my debut. And personally, on this channel, we have done 7 debuts over the course of my content creation. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Callie's debut on this channel is trash, and I'm sorry about that, but Brytknee's is fucking amazing. Bits. Yes, plan some bits, like I did with my alien thing, or, you know, oh, look at my shiny skirt, that kind of thing. Plan some bits. Don't be flying solo. Set the date 2 weeks out, post an announcement to Twitter, and then immediately send that announcement to your networked friends and be like, OMG, I just announced my debut date, I'm so nervous. If they're good friends, they'll retweet it, in which case you get more eyes on it, in which case you get better viewership. You do that, you talk to them, you know, all of that good stuff, and then when the day comes, you make your announcement, and you say, hey, I'm live with my debut in half an hour, and you tweet that, and then you send it to your friends. Froggy, thank you so much for the 1,000 biddies! That's not the bits I meant, though! No, I have so many more VTuber friends than I do IRL friends summertime. It's crazy. But then the day of, you tweet half an hour first and you say, oh my god, I'm so nervous again. You send it to your friends and say, please help, I'm so scared, I'm so scared. They'll give you a little bit of advice, but more importantly, they might either retweet it or they'll fucking be there if possible, because they want to be a good friend to you, you know? So you have some viewership there, and from there, it gets you noticed a bit better in the algo, which means you can get some more organic viewership moving forward. So you definitely want to do a debut, and that is your prep checklist, okay? Now, gaming streams versus just chatting streams. These are two very different categories. So for gaming, there is a sliding scale of gameplay versus Zatsudan. Zatsudan is a Japanese term meaning a just chatting stream. It's VTuber culture. I'm going to use the term Zatsu because that's what I'm familiar with, but you should use the term just chatting. Most viewers don't know the term Zatsudan. Anyway, gameplay versus Zatsu. We touched on this with RuneScape, but it is very, very true. There is, you know, some games that are more just chatting, in which case you'll have to do more just chatting prep, and there are some games that are more gameplay, where you can just let the gameplay speak for itself. For example, Fly Night. Or, well, what's another? Oh, Another Crab's Treasure was a very, very gameplay-heavy stream. If the game is fresh and exciting and colorful and bright and fun to watch, then you need to prep a lot less Zatsu content, and if there's always something for you to comment on in the gameplay, like, oh my god, that character just said gay sex and then did a backflip off the ledge, that's so wacky! If there's something to comment on, then obviously you need to prep a lot less. Community engagement is also a huge thing. There are tons of games that have mods that can bring chat in, and there are tons of games that natively support chat. Like Minecraft, I have redeems for chats to like summon axolotls or creepers or what the fuck ever. There's Slay the Streamer mods for Slay the Spire, although again, I get too enthralled in that game. I can't stream it because I like it too much, honestly. But even while you're playing, you want to engage your community. You know, I personally, occasionally, do bets with my chat. I'll say, okay, I'm playing BioShock. I've played this game so many fucking times. If I die a single time, you guys get to choose whatever I stream. And I died. But, you know, it got people engaged. It got people watching actively. You do predictions in chat. You make bets. You talk to them. You ask them what their opinion is on your build. That kind of thing. You want to bring the chat into the game, basically. Bits are better than gameplay. If you're being super funny, but you're not making any progress in the game, you're being a better streamer than somebody who beats an entire game in one sitting but is unfunny as fuck. Chat is there to be entertained. Chat is not there to watch you play a video game. All right? Keep that in mind. Be entertaining. If you have to die to make a joke funnier, die. Do it. Be entertaining. That is the most important thing. Don't worry about gameplay. Worry about entertaining. Okay, I think I'm harpering on that point long enough. Get it? Because my name is Cadence Harper. You can laugh. It's really actually very funny. Listen, here's the thing. You're not laughing, so you must not get it. See, my last name is Harper, and people say you're harping on something for too long. So I replaced harping with harpering because they sound very similar. You know what I mean? Only in games, right? Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you don't actually die. You just die in your game. All right, Zatsu, or just chatting streams. Prep. You're going to want a big list of topics of things that just happened or things you want to talk about. And I've been streaming for 4 years, as I've said many times now, and I'll still prep for a Zatsu. I don't do Zatsu streams because I'm bad at them, but if I do them, I prep, I plan. Like the RuneScape video where I had a ton of things to talk about, you know? It's important to have topics because you don't have a game to fall back on to talk about. It's just you filling time. And bigger streamers kind of get away without doing as much prep because chat will be talking. You know, like Barebones just said, ew, she harped all over the floor, guys. I thought she was carpet trained. Which isn't very funny because it's stupid and Barebones is a loser. But, you know, if I say, like, what's your favorite food, chat? If I say that, chat's not gonna fucking answer me. If fucking somebody with 1,000 viewers says that, they're gonna get a bunch of things, and then they can pick and choose what to comment on. So for smaller streamers, unfortunately, we need to do a lot of prep.
This person doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Shut up, Walter! If I want your opinion, I will fucking tell you it. Shut the fuck up, Walter! Bitch ass motherfucker. Yeah! Okay, anyway. Yeah, so you do unfortunately have to do a lot of prep for just chatting streams. Some people are really naturally good at this. Some people get good at this, you know? Like, if you do a lot of these, obviously you'd get good at this. Like, I don't write down when things happen to me anymore because most of the time I'll just remember to talk about them. But I will still write down chat topics. Again, you know, it's practice like everything else is. Takes one to know one, bitch. Shut the fuck up, Barebones. I'm gonna actually kick your ass. Going full ADHD is also very important. Like, for example, my brain doesn't work, so I make weird ass connections. For example, if we look over at chat, we see, okay, there's a little tangerine here. And here's the thing. I can make that connection. I can see tangerine. Okay, what about tangerines? Okay, connect tangerines to... Did you know, when I was a little girl, I legitimately thought tangerines were just not fully grown oranges. And I would, like, take them and, like, put them somewhere and wait for them to finish growing. So I ended up actually having some fucking moldy tangerines hidden around my house, and they smelled so bad. And I legit don't think I actually got all of them out before we moved from that house. So, like, it's possible we sold a house with a moldy tangerine in one of, like, the air ducts or something, and it's just circulating mold throughout this person's house, and they don't fucking know, and I don't remember where I put all these fucking tangerines. You know, you make these arbitrary, stupid connections, and you just kind of, like, jump from one topic to another as well. For example, you know, there's a moldy tangerine in the air duct. Okay, that makes me think of other air ducts. That makes me think of Die Hard. Okay, Die Hard was a great fucking movie. It's not a Christmas movie, okay? You immediately bring up something that's a point of contention because it gets people talking. You say, okay, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. If somebody in chat thinks it is a Christmas movie, they'll immediately pop in and say, of course it's a fucking Christmas movie. You're a dumb bitch. He has that sweater that says, ho, 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 now I have a machine gun. It takes place on Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. It's not a fucking Christmas movie, okay? That kind of thing. You have to be chaining topics into topics into topics into topics. That is the only way you're going to get through a full Zatsu stream. Beyond that, read every single chat message. We talked about this before, but let's go back. Frog says, "Don't look." I don't know what Frog is referring to. So we're going to skip that because we have another message here. I was checking out all the very good art different streamers drew in my sketchbook at Mag and realized someone wrote gay sex in my sketchbook. And that's something to comment on, you know? That's a topic we can discuss. We can say, okay, listen, Tron. Listen, Tron. I stand by what I wrote in your fucking sketchbook. Or, I'm sorry, no, I mean, I wonder who could have done that. I wonder who could have done that, Tron. That is super mysterious and weird and confusing. Oh my god. Who would have done that? Who would disrespect your sketchbook like that? That's crazy, you know? Anyway, on the topic of sketchbooks, and then you talk about something related to that, you know, you bounce between topics. Okay, Morty. So, I remember when I got your first year's affiliate, you asked some of my streamer friends to do a video, prepare stuff. Well, I mean, they screw up my prep by being all too nice. You had to improv and roll with it. Here's the thing. The more you stream, the better you get at improv. And improv is a very, very essential skill for a streamer to have. But it is something that just gets better as you stream. So what you need to do is prep for your early streams. Prep. And know that as you go, you'll need less and less prep, you know? Frogod says, my messages make sense when you remember what you said. Here's the thing. I've said this before on stream, but my brain is a black hole. I don't pay attention to the shit that comes out of my mouth, okay? I am not aware of most of the stuff I say on stream. It's out of my mouth. It's not in my head, you know? And that's a problem. That's a problem because it makes it hard to respond to chat messages sometimes. But read every single chat message. I've talked about this to death now, but chat is your biggest resource. Touch grass. That's another very good one. For example, I told this story about that chick in Pennsylvania who approached me. That happened because I left my fucking room. When you leave your room, shit happens, and you have shit you can comment on. For example, "We serve the Gothic community" is something of an inside joke on my channel because I was doing a grass-touching stream, and apropos of nothing, a guy just approached me and said, "Hey, I see you streaming. I just wanted to let you know, we serve the Gothic community." Well, actually, he said, he asked his buddy, "Do we serve the Gothic community?" And he said, yes, we serve the Gothic community. And I responded, hell yeah. So that just kind of became an inside joke, and that never would have happened if I hadn't touched fucking grass. I'm not saying you have to do IRL streams, but if that had happened to me off stream, you bet your sweet ass I would have taken it to chat and been like, oh my god, this shit happened. You know, I would have told them about it, and that's content, that's story. So that's also something that's helpful for Zatsudon. You know, I think Gura actually talked about this a little bit on one of her earlier streams, one of her earliest streams, because I don't watch Gura anymore. Nothing against her, I'm busy, you know? Yeah, I mean, if you don't have experiences, you're not gonna have anything to talk about on stream, you know? So that's it for my PowerPoint on how to be a VTuber in 2025. If anybody in chat has any questions, I would be oh so grateful to answer them. But the biggest thing is, why would someone watch you? Presentation and networking. If you don't take anything from this video, take those three, please, okay? Okay, great. Now, I thought we would go over my personal, like the prep I do personally. A, so you guys can see it, and B, because I need to get it done. But you can see here, you know, I'm getting art for something, you know? I'm on Fiverr, I have Twitter, I have a Blue Sky. I can't go on my Blue Sky, there's gonna be hentai. But, you know, I tweet whenever I can. I really fucking do. Should I start off as a PNG tuber? You shouldn't stream, Gamma. You shouldn't stream. If I can convince you not to stream, don't stream. But beyond that, yeah, be a PNG tuber if you can't afford to VTube. But yeah, I tweet whenever I can. Like, I was just at the beach with Bunny. Okay, let's fucking tweet about it. Even if these tweets aren't very good, it reminds people that you exist, which is helpful. Also, you can ask for people to make content with you and nobody will ever respond, but that's okay because it's still a tweet, right? And nobody will respond, and it's great. But yeah, so you do that kind of thing. You make your schedules. I handwrite my schedules, obviously. And you prep thumbnails since you're going to be multi-streaming, and you schedule things. What's the easiest way to get chat to appear on the screen? And do you know a way to only show certain chatters in a box? Okay, so the easiest way to get chat to appear on the screen is the website I talked about before, Streamlabs. So you're going to want to go to Streamlabs and make a Twitch account. Then you go to all widgets, and there are a lot of widgets here. Emote wall, which is they appear in front of you. I don't personally use this, but I know a lot of people do. Pretty much everybody does but me. Chat highlights, spin wheel, which I used for a very long time, and most importantly, chat box. Now, I think there's all kinds of crazy things you can do with chat box, but you can make a widget here on Streamlabs, and you'll have this here, and you just paste the browser source into OBS, and you configure it however you want. A lot of your basic streamer stuff, like alerts, chat, follower goals, all of that stuff is going to be on Streamlabs, so it is important that you make a Streamlabs account, all right? Let's take a look at our wheel, just for old time's sake. You know? Let's spin this shit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It landed on 2 different things. That's interesting. Okay, that one was custom Discord role on the front one. Yeah, I used to have something where every hour somebody in chat could, just to keep chat interested, I would say, okay, once an hour, somebody can spin a wheel, and then they win a reward. I do 5 push-ups, I eat a spicy thing, I reverse my controller. If I'm not playing a controller game, they respin. I have to do a uwu voice for 5 whole minutes. Free card pack, which is something else I was doing. 5-minute meet and greet, you pop into a VC with me, you get to do a VR chat date with me, custom Discord role, change default streamer, so it's just ways chat can be rewarded for watching me. I don't do it anymore because honestly, I never remembered to do it, and it's kind of a hassle. Because, like, I mean, I don't want to do 5, I don't want to stop stream to do 5 push-ups, but that kind of goes into something else that I wanted to talk about is, redeems. I know you can't do redeems if you're not already a affiliate, but affiliate's really easy to get. So, redeems. Redeems are important. You don't want anything that interrupts the flow of stream unless it's really expensive. And it's a way for viewers to feel rewarded for watching your stream. I have tons of them. I love redeems, you know? Yeah, that could be a good way to make that fun to watch, Demi. That's a very good idea. But like Hydrate, you know, they can make me do something for pretty cheap, so they feel rewarded for watching. And then there are just general redeems, like I make a weird fucking noise because that's me, you know? That's the kind of content I make. Sound redeems, inside joke redeems. Everybody has to have an ara redeem, even if nobody redeems it ever. That kind of thing, you know, you just reward chat for watching. It's important to have a lot of redeems. And rip off redeems. Absolutely, rip people off. Nobody's gonna call you on it, and even if they do, it's not like they own the idea. And personally, I'd be happy to see somebody do it. Am I? What's my... Hold on. Okay, yeah, we'll set a goal. I had a goal for 13. You can see I had a goal for 13, and we reached it, so now I'm at 1309. There's also programs that help you with redeems like Tits, which I covered earlier, yeah. But yeah, so let's go over the prep work I do on my end every week. YouTube, okay. So, we're gonna schedule some streams. I'll walk you through the process. Oh, I shouldn't have made my thumbnails already. Oh well. I should have waited to make my thumbnails. That's fine. So let's go ahead and schedule something. We're going to reuse, well, let's actually pull up our schedule here. Oh, you guys can't see my file explorer. There's some spicy stuff there. There's some spicy stuff there. Okay, schedule. So our first is a hardcore Minecraft stream. So we did one before, so we'll just reuse the settings from this one and give it a different title. It's something interesting, but it doesn't matter as much as you might think, so you can just do whatever. Froggy, thank you so much for your redeem. Just have a blurb about the channel. Oh, this is super outdated. Oh my god. Hold on, I have an updated version of this. Down. There we go. Okay, so you have that. And then you have a category, game title, thumbnail, YouTuber stuff, thumbnails. Okay, no, it's Brytknee. Render, no, MC13. There you go. Visibility. Change the schedule for 2:25 at 4 p.m. It'll auto adjust to your time zone, so it's important to keep in mind. So we schedule that. I'll schedule one more with old settings just to show you why I do it that way. And then I'll schedule one with original settings. Morty, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I really, truly appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Okay, on the topic of gifted subs, thank you, first off, thank you so much. I really, truly appreciate it. Mwah. Second off, it's supposed to do something different for bits as well. It's supposed to do this for bits, and it never does. And I don't know why. I don't fucking know why. If we go over to the bits screen, it says minimum bits to alert is 1. So it should do it for no matter what, but it doesn't. And for gifted subs, I don't know that you can make one. Charity donations? No. I don't know if you can ever redeem for gifted subs, to be honest. It was for 100,000 bits? It didn't even pop up when you gifted 10k bits, so. No, because see, the bits is set to minimum bits to alert. 1. The smallest tier can be for... See, you gifted 20 bits. That's the generic bit alert. It's not taking my custom thing that I have set up here with min bits to alert 1. And I don't know why. That's what it should be doing. Also, thank you so much for the 20 bits, Morty. Mwah! I don't know why, and that's part of being a VTuber as well, is your tech isn't gonna work, and you're not gonna know why, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. Finale. So typically you want your titles to be different from your thumbnails and to say something different, because there's 2 opportunities to get people to click on something, but I'm lazy as fuck, and nobody's gonna click on this anyway because nobody likes my Pokemon streams but me. So that's fine. You know, I'm being lazy with it. All right, now Moonstone Island. This is a game that's very obscure. I don't think a lot of people, I mean, it's not like Somber Echoes or something, but like a lot of people don't know about it. So we're just gonna call the stream Moonstone Island and then sort of describe it. Except, wouldn't you know it, let's take a look at our thumbnail. That's exactly what we did on our thumbnail. We called it Cozy Pokemon Farming. So, we don't want to just repeat that this is a cozy farming sim, so let's say... I don't know, how's it compare to Stardew Valley? Because that way, when people search for Stardew Valley, which is relevant, they'll get recommended this video as well. Category is gaming. Game title is Moonstone Island. Then we pull up our handy dandy text box, copy, and paste. Oh, whoops. Paste. Now, there's also, you hit not made for kids. There's also like tags and shit, but nobody cares about those. YouTube doesn't even care about their tag system anymore. Then you just set the time and you schedule it. Easy. I have one more thing I gotta schedule and then we'll move on, okay? I know this isn't super riveting to watch. That's fine. Oh shit, I forgot to mention. Let's take a look. So I reused the settings on the Pokemon ROM hack because it is part of 2 playlists on my channel. My collabs and my Pokemon one. You can sort of organize your streams however you like, but for me personally, if something has more than 4 streams in it, it gets its own separate playlist. Just because if there's somebody who wants to watch that kind of thing, you know, why not? Let's grab a random video. Most of the time I'm too lazy to copy paste this, so I just grab a random video that already has it, but this one I have to copy paste as well. And this one is a very special stream. Yeah. Yeah. And this isn't really gaming, so we just set it to entertainment. 3, 2, 4 p.m. I'm looking forward to this stream, honestly. I really, truly am. A collab with fucking Callidora? That sounds fire. But yeah, so if nobody else has any questions, that's sort of how you schedule a stream on YouTube. And then when you go live on your OBS, it'll automatically start it on YouTube, whichever one you schedule first. So like I scheduled Hardcore Minecraft first, and Hardcore Minecraft is going to be the first one. When I go live on OBS, it'll go live on the scheduled Hardcore Modded Minecraft thing. Just something to keep in mind. And then you can like scroll through and see your analytics, all of that good stuff. For example, let's take a look at this. 110. Oh, I got 2 dislikes. Oh man. Oh, ooh, damn. Damn, we kind of cooking. But then you can look at your analytics and you can use that to make more informed decisions about what sort of content we're making, you know? 0.9k more than usual. Oh man, typical 4 to 20. This one, 1873. Goddamn. Goddamn. 26 new subs from one video. That's pretty good. Okay, so this is telling me this video is doing a lot better than usual, which means I need to make more videos like this one, you know? How viewers found this video? YouTube recommendations. Okay. Okay. YouTube home up next. We did get some from search, which is incredible. I wonder what this is. Obviously, some of these are people clicked on it, but playlist is crazy too. And then you can see when people are clicking off, which is helpful. Average view duration 256. Wow. People are clicking off? 50% of people click off after the first 30 seconds. I guess that's unavoidable because I have a very specific voice. So if people don't like my voice, they click off, you know? Wait. Hi. Hello? Yeah, see, you'd know if you like it by now or not, you know?
Yeah.
That you lose a lot of viewership in the first couple of seconds because people hear your voice and people get ADHD and don't want to wait for it, but then retention's pretty good, you know? Pretty good. I have more people watching at 8:30 than 8. Okay, average view duration is 256, so something happens at 256. The birthday party celebration this year. I start getting sad. People don't want to watch something sad. Okay, that's fair. Good to know. Good to keep in mind for streaming in the future. So it's very important to go back and check your own shit. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing, I ran out of my prep, and like I said, I'm fucking awful at just chatting streams, so I don't really know what to do, so we're gonna end stream. You know, part of networking also. I will talk about this. We'll have a little discussion here. We'll have you lose some of your viewers because of your French accent? Yeah, it's inevitable, unfortunately. So we'll have a little discussion here. We do networking partially because oh, I'm a favorite. It gives you someone to raid. You have to raid at the end of streams. It's just polite. Typically for me, I like to raid somebody who's relatively the same viewership as me, because if I raid Medusa right now, she's got 111 viewers right now. I would not do shit. Also, when did she blow up? Normally I raid her and she's got like 20. God damn. So my 14 wouldn't really make an impact, but Airy, that would over double his viewers. So we're gonna raid Airy. That's what we do. It's polite to raid. You want to make friends with VTubers who stream before you as well, so you can get some raids. I barely ever get raided, and it's terrible for my growth. Raids are super, super helpful. So network. Network with people who stream before you, ideally, but network. Barebones redeemed Grow an Onion. That redeem summons me. Barebones, would you refund yourself? So to raid, you just type /raid. Ari Abeli VT. And what you're going to want to... I really do appreciate that, Morty. And you're going to want to drop in a raid message so chat will spam it and they can realize they got raided. My chat never, ever, ever copy-paste the raid message, but I send it anyway. You know, why not? Anyway, you also want to make sure you end with a great big sign-off that chat can look forward to each and every stream. I'm sure my chat knows mine by now, but for now, bye!